take the letter E and you equate that to the word feelings, you kind of mess up the motion of things. So remove the E and keep moving. That's what you do with it.
Spitting that E to the IMP. He's spitting that E to the IMP. He's spitting that E to the IMP. Ain't nothing but pimpin' these days. He's spitting that E to the IMP. He's spitting that E to the...
Got my face on a bunch of wanted papers. Rode in town like a desperado. Searching for the gold like El Dorado. Burning money on Jameson bottles. Gonna get rich come hella hot water. Ride for my gang all the way to hangman. Spirits in the sky know that I'm never changing. I'm like a Charles Russell painting, I'll die in the West.
Welcome back to another episode of Elevator Dialogue here on the Unkle Junior Network. Man, that was a throwback. What y'all think about that one? I forgot about that song.
I liked it. That's Vic, right?
Yeah, that was Vic at the beginning, and then that was one of another friend of mine that was on the other part of that, on the back end of that right there.
That was nice, man. Yeah, I want to hear some more Vic. I'm serious, man. If you got some links, man, text them to me, and I'll listen and also give you, like, what's up, man? I dug this and all of that. I want to hear some more because I liked it. That's why I said, please play it again.
Hey, man, look, I'm a caveat. This, I got quite a few songs actually. Okay. And I'm gonna drop the link in the chat.
Got it.
In the public chat, actually.
Okay. And
this is the music from when I was sexually undisciplined.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it is what it is. But you know what? Let's start the show. So welcome, gentlemen. Glad y'all here again today. Coach may or may not be here today. Roland is the same thing. Chris is backstage right now, getting things together. But right now we got Dr. Thomas Rashad Easley, Antoine, the other artist, Christopher, and now the newly reformed. He has sexually disciplined. He is sexually disciplined now. Victor Vizian, ladies and gentlemen, the man, Mr. Accountable Masculinity. What's going on? How y'all doing this evening, gentlemen?
What's up, man? Hey, glad to be back. I had to, life was life in last week, so I had to step away and handle some business, and good to be back.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you're back, man. Dr. Easley, how's everybody back 2 weeks in a row, man? Everything's going good, man. I'm assuming.
Yeah, man. I'm not traveling this week, but I'm traveling all next week. So I'll be on the road. Like, I'll be in 3 different places next week, from Virginia, South Carolina, and DC. Oh, 4 if you count North Carolina. Oh, Georgia. I mean Atlanta.
Georgia.
So I'm kind of moving around, but happy to be here. Good to see the brothers, and like I said, hey, I just a quick plug. Of course, you see the book, but we're here, promoting, Easley Branch. People want some great music. I'm talking about good music, motivational, 1,000 instrumentals, and that's it.
Hey, there we go, Antoine. We see you back again this week. You see you. You obviously you done did some laundry, then put your shirt on the dry cycle 3 times. We see you looking. You got your little brother's shirt on today. Antoine Jack today, ain't he, Vic?
He did no push-ups, man. That's all he did. No push-ups. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Hey, that's how he read it.
Hey, an OG told me a long time ago. He said the fastest way to get big is to buy a smaller shirt.
That's funny. I actually like that.
I think you already knew that, Antoine. I think that's why you got that little shirt on today. Yeah, you know what, Antoine? If you
headphones on today, I'm sorry.
Hey, look, I don't even know how you make 154 pounds. You know what I'm saying? Bust the top buttons open like that.
Antoine, you 154 pounds?
156.
156. Oh, you're a little bit smaller than me.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm right around 160, 163, right around there right now. Yeah. 173. Yeah, man. I like it. I like it like this, man. I feel like I'm in my fighting weight right now.
You're fighting weight.
Yeah, man.
I actually want to drop down. I'm even going to cut more. I want to cut down to 147.
Why 147?
Wow. You trying to box?
That's a very specific number.
I'll tell you why. Because I did all my calisthenics research, and they said a weight between 147 and 150 is a perfect way to balance your body if you're doing push up the handstand and all that sort of stuff. So sometimes you don't have the strength at 145 because you're really too light, but 147 to 150, yep, those 3 pounds, believe it or not, is the sweet spot. So I'm gonna just try it.
Ladies and gentlemen, fitness by Antoine. Here we go. I like that though. But hey, thank y'all for being here today, gentlemen. And thank everybody who's here in the chat today, everyone who may watch this somewhere down the road, or if you're watching on replay, all those good things like that. Remember to subscribe, like, hit the share button, all of those different things like that. Hit the notification button so you can be notified whenever new content drops. Again, today is Tuesday, so we are off tonight. As far as a different night. We usually go on Wednesdays, but tonight we are here on Tuesday. Because I got something else in my life that I want to do tomorrow. So I decided, and to change the show to tonight. But it is what it is. So with that being said, gentlemen, let's get into tonight's topic. Tonight's topic is knowing the difference between taking care of and providing for. So way this came about, and if you are at home and you're listening to this, if you have a show topic or something like that that you would like for us to discuss, feel free to do so. You can hit me up. The information is in the YouTube channel, and you can find me like that. So with that being said, someone reached out to me and was like, hey, you should do a show on this. So this is where it came from. So with that being said, I am going to read you the exact message that was sent to me. I'm not going to say who it's from, but I don't think that, no one ain't going to know who it is anyway. So here we go. Let me find it real quick. Just hit it up. All right, here we go. I'm gonna read it while I put up on the screen as well. All right, you should do a topic on your show. The difference between taking care of someone and providing for someone. My wife could take care of herself, but wanted me to do it. She had a job, but spent it and wanted and expected me to take care of her. She made $800 every 2 weeks and would still ask me for gas money because she spent it all. I would have just provided for her. 3 hots in a cot, LOL. You provide for your family, but you take care of your kids and wife if she is sick or disabled or unable to take care of herself. So, again, this was a situation. They are no longer married. But that's what was going on. So when it comes to taking care of somebody and providing for someone, even if it's your wife, I think sometimes parents or children can possibly be thrown to this category too. So I know we're talking about taking care or providing for, but when you guys look at this topic, what are some of the thoughts that come to your mind when you look at taking care of versus providing for, and the information that was presented in that text message right there?
I see someone being taken advantage of. I think that's.
Welcome to the show, Chris.
What's up, Chris?
Greetings, everybody. My apologies for my tardiness. I saw the message. I'm already caught up.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
I think in this situation that you already had up on the screen, I think someone feels like they're being taken advantage of. Whether that's true or not, is in the eye of the beholder. But they're not married anymore, according to what you said. So somebody broke free. So I do believe that there's some boundaries in there, and other things bring more scrutiny. If like if you got like a bad attitude, bad habits, bad vices, and you're terrible with managing your own resources, I think that's what makes a man itemize, what he's spending his money on. Where's he getting his value at? You know what I'm saying? In his situation. So I think if you come into the situation, like I always say, can't have the least amount of resources and think you can make the rules. That this scenario is a very good example of, what I'm saying, that phrase that I like to use.
I'm gonna say it's a bit of both, right? Because I'm gonna say it's a bit of both. Because you you're a provider for your family. You provide the household. You provide things that they need. You make sure everything's running. But you're taking care of them at the same time. I mean, you're taking care of your kids. But I'm a firm believer of the wife, allowing the wife to work, not in the beginning stages of course, with the baby and all that. But I'm not here to take away her career or anything like that. So it's just finding the balance in between, because she worked hard to get whatever her degree is in any ways like that. So I believe that, but more a provider is taking care of what you do with kids and stuff like that. But providing is providing for the overall household of the family. You know?
Based on the message, sounds to me like somebody's a little entitled. That is just me. That is why a lot of men are terrified of things like this. It's the entitled mindset thinking that I have to do something. I don't have to do anything. You need a level 2 in dealing with me. So figure it out. And another thing, you know what? We'll just dive deeper into the show.
I appreciate what Chris said about saying entitled, because based on what I recall, he said that his former wife, I guess now, was making, did you say $800 a week?
800 every 2 weeks.
800 every 2 weeks. So that means making what every 2 weeks. So it's like what, 1,600 a month.
Right.
And so it's not a huge amount, but I think that like that they have something. And I think if someone is making money, but primarily only spending yours, that's why I agree with what with my brother Chris. That there's a sense of entitlement. But then I also think that I'm just gonna say this. I think that people who do that also probably are not great managers of money, and they don't know how to manage many resources. And the one resource is yourself. So if you're going to allow, and this is why I do, I may sound like a little agitated, because I've been in a situation, like myself too, where you're like giving to someone and then they appreciate it at first, and then they start to take advantage of it. And then they kind of start getting a little bit lax, and then they turn really mediocre. And then you kind of become the provider. And I just think that that's a sign of poor management. I really think it's a sign of low self-esteem if you let somebody else take care of you. That's just my opinion, unless your health is bad. But I think it's a sign of low self-esteem if you let somebody take care of you.
Yeah, I get that. Charlotte Jordan, thank you for the question. She said, did they discuss this before they got married? And whether that's a direct question or rhetorical question, I think that's a good question. And if you didn't, hopefully that, in a perfect relationship, this was discussed before. But it seems like if it was an issue in the relationship or in the marriage, that it probably wasn't discussed before. Or it could have been discussed, but then later on, someone decided to change the plan and said, hey, you know what? I know I said that I was going to do this or do that, but I'm not anymore. And like Dr. Easley said, I think, when it comes down to financial management, I think there may have been a lack of that there. Because if you're bringing in $1,600 a month, I don't know what you guys decide to pay the bills on, but it seems like that he was paying for everything. So you should be able to, I'm assuming, be able to spring for your gas for your vehicle. You know what I mean? So that's what I would think. Chris, you're thinking, so what do you think? You're thinking, so what do you think?
Pondering.
I think he just wanted to cover her basic needs, though, and you want her to take care of her own basic needs, like being able to get like as a man, we don't wait for nobody to give us no haircut money.
Yeah.
No lunch money. You know what I'm saying? And if you come in here with your $800 a month mindset, $800 a month every 2 weeks, you need to live like that. You know what I'm saying? Within the boundaries, and just to be respectful of the relationship. Now, if you're taking advantage of it and thinking somebody else is just gonna pick up the tab, that's different, you know. But I think responsible people, let's just assume that they was responsible and they did discuss it. And then she overstepped the boundaries, you know what I'm saying? And she broke the contract. She disrespected the resource. And again, you can't have the least amount of resources and think you can make the rules. So it don't matter what she said. You can't have the least amount of money and then switch up what you contribute and then think somebody's just supposed to pick up your slack. The one with the least amount of resources just can't make the rules. That wouldn't work the other way around.
But when you guys are saying that you want her to pick up the slack, so you have no problem with your wife working, and let's stick to this particular.
Yeah, we're just talking about this scenario, nothing else.
This scenario, okay? So let's stick to this scenario. I don't know what she's doing with her $800. Obviously, if she's blowing $800 and she can't afford gas money, she's using it somewhere. She's doing stupidity with it, and she's overspending and overextending. That's a given, because $800 is a lot of money. The man's taking up everything else. I mean, that's simple math, right?
It's almost like free money, $1,600 free money every month.
Exactly, because that's more than enough for a cell phone to keep your weave on and all that other shit, right? So you got more than enough
your
money.
weave on.
You got more than enough money for that.
Early in the show.
I'm just saying, well,
It's too early.
He's just assuming that the person wears weave.
I mean, you know, and for the nails and all that stuff, she's got more than enough money. So,
but I see what you're saying, though.
Yeah, she's got more than enough money to do her womanly duties and make it smell fresh. I'm just saying, as a man picking up the other slack for all the other things, obviously she's mismanaging her money. So that's when I'd step in and go, no, it doesn't work that way. So you have to put your foot down.
It is not about the money. It is about her lack of respect for the union. That is what it is. You are not about to say, I'm just going to stop working, or you are not about to say, I'm going to blow this $1,600 a month and you still got to take care of my basic needs. You are not about to do that. No, I do not deal with entitlement, and I do not negotiate with terrorists. You can go.
Not the terrorists.
Come on, Batman.
Terrorists.
You know, I'm sorry. See, just like last week, I'm having a good time. You know, keeping it on this situation. You know, I wonder if, let's say, like I like the question, you know, like that was asked. Did they discuss this before marriage? And I do think that a lot of times people do have these discussions, and then let's say the situation changed after they got married, right? Like let's say like that maybe he came into more money or so on and so forth, and he wanted to start doing some things, right? What I think another thing that can happen, and I'm not justifying it, I just think that it's not cool, is that people start doing something and then they start taking more and more advantage of it. So, you know, let's say this month is like, you know what? I'll get all of the bills this month. Since you're making that much, you just take care of your stuff. And the reason why I say I agree with the entitlement, but also put it on poor management, because have you ever interacted with people? It's like they took care of themselves all this time, and then they got married, and then you wonder what happened to the taking care of myself IQ after they get married. You
Absolutely.
see, that's what I'm talking about. You see, it's like people get into a relationship and then get done, you know, and that muscle of taking care of yourself, you try, and I'm using the word dumb on purpose because I do think that is stupid to do that. To get into a relationship and then just drop everything. And that's whether you're a woman or a man. I'm speaking on both sides, or a woman, a man, you know, either way. But I just think that sometimes our human behavior, and that's why I agree with you, Chris, about protecting that union. I think sometimes we can start out a certain way, but then if certain things don't get checked along the way, and small things starts getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and me taking care of this one bill turns into taking care of this bill. Me helping you with this dinner turns into now you want to go out to dinner every night. What happened to when you used to cook? You know, just I've seen that with people, like as the relationship goes, those good behaviors, those good traits seem to go away.
And financial isn't financially one of the main things people get divorced? Isn't that one of the
number one?
Infidelity, finances, and irreconcilable differences. Basically, the woman saying she's not happy.
Right, but if a man like for me in my situation, right, I don't ever want it to pay the mortgage and all that, because I don't ever want it to be able to tell the cops, hey, you know, is my house too. That will never happen, right? So I'm making sure that's separate. I ain't moving. But all the other stuff that I will never pay down her school loans and all that sort of stuff, that is her, right? But I will make sure that she has a phone. I will make sure she's got a roof over. I make sure I do all my manly duties. And when it comes to the kids, I'll make sure I do all my fatherly duties and my husband duties towards that. But the mismanaging of her money and her taking advantage of me can never be, because, I mean, how, right? Technically, how? If I say no, it's no. Well, you can't go into my bank account. And if I know you're that bad at money, Lord knows, I don't even know. I didn't vet you too good.
That's some accountability.
That's the part where I would have to hold him accountable. Why did you not have this conversation before you put a ring on his woman's finger?
Exactly.
I think financial acuity, you know what I'm saying, it's all part of that vetting process, you know what I'm saying? And like you guys talked about beforehand, one of the comments from Miss Herbal Alchemist, thank you for watching the show. See, can you highlight that comment real quick?
Hold on, I'm gonna get to it, but I wanted to get to something else first, though.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna get to it unless you want to get to it right now.
I was like trying to keep it moving, you know what I'm saying? Because I know you got some points you want to get to.
Yeah, I'll put it up there.
Yeah. So why can't they provide for each other? Because if he get terminally ill, she would have to hold the household down. It has to be a medium when it comes to this, because bills are a must, and if we both do. I look at the situation like that's an extreme circumstance. And under extreme circumstances, adjustments that are necessary won't require much discussion. Under the circumstances based on the screenshot on the surface, it's not a terminally ill situation. Too many times
she's just entitled and lazy.
Yeah, entitled and lazy. They're trying to catastrophize the situation to make it more serious than what it is, when really you just need to cut back on your spending and be a little bit more responsible. Now, if you're terminally ill, the last thing we talked about, your $800, because health is the priority at that point. So I think a lot of people catastrophize things just so they can make their point.
Yeah, but Vic, wouldn't you agree that if she mismanages her money, her the way she operates, that's when it's the man's job to step in and go, okay, this is what's going to happen with your money from now on, moving forward. Because he has to, we would agree that he has to put his foot down, right? He has to tell her, because I believe like you both have your separate money, but then you have a bank account that contributes towards the household, right?
I think this really goes into how they have their financial structure set up in their house. I think with what you're saying, Antoine, it seems like that would work pretty well. But it seemed like in this situation, they didn't have that structure set up. So now, since the structure wasn't set up, this is where they are. Now, I agree with you. If the mismanaging of the funds is working against the household, we need to have an issue, because if you have your $1,600 a month for you, you should be able to pay for your gas. But now we're taking money that's allocated for something else for the family and the structure of relationship, right, because you can't manage your money. Now I got to come over here and bail you out. And if we're in this thing together, it shouldn't have to be like that. There needs to be a conversation about you having to learn how to better manage your funds, so you not having to pull from the family resources to support a you issue.
Yeah, I see that. That's okay. So we're on the same page when it comes to that. That's right. Mm-hmm. So they obviously, hence why they're divorced, right?
It could be part of it, yeah.
I mean, you know. But I definitely think these are conversations. I think if you get serious with somebody, you gotta know how much they make. You gotta know what they're coming in with financially. I mean, the honeymoon stage is great and all, but after that, the book's got to be laid out and say, listen, what do you bring into this household?
I agree.
You have to. I mean, it's part of a husband and wife or a really seriously significant other.
I agree, and I think that's part of the reason why we're having this conversation, is because sometimes people get into relationships and they think that what they're doing is being a provider, but they end up taking care of somebody or enabling somebody or being taken advantage of throughout the relationship. Like Dr. Easley said, sometimes in relationships, people start up here and then they tend to taper off, certain things as the relationship goes on. It's an old joke or something that's in the married community, when it comes to how much men, get freaky with their old lady, and it's always like, oh yeah, I remember we was dating, we used to get about a pound, you know what I mean? And now, 10 years into a relationship, he only get it on his birthdays and holidays. You know what I'm saying?
That's on him. That's his fault, bro.
Yeah. But
Come
what I'm
on
saying
now.
is,
Come
like
on
Dr.
now.
Easley said, is certain things happen in a relationship, and in certain relationships, things do tailor off. And I
That is
think
one
in
of them
most,
that should not taper off, right?
but think about this. That's most divorce. That's all divorces. You think about most people who got divorced, at some point they were madly in love with each other to where they wanted to walk down and excuse me, and jump the broom. You know what I mean? And then at some point, they ain't want to have nothing to do with each other. They ain't want to be in the same house anymore. So
So let me ask you guys this then: if you say to your, if okay, my father's never done it, but my mom says, hey, can you lend me $1,000? She never paid it back, but it's understood that the money's out and floating around, but he's never asked for it back. How do you feel about that?
That's just a gesture. I think it's a courtesy. The man has no problem, provided all things are healthy. And
yeah, I'm talking about that thing, providing all things are healthy.
Yeah, like in a healthy situation.
Your dad don't care about that $1,000.
I don't think that $1,000 don't matter.
Okay, good.
Like in the situation on the scenario that was on the screenshot,
that matter.
That matters.
That matters. Yeah, that particular thing you read. Yeah,
like
wife better have my money.
Yeah, straight up. Hey, because like you're so crazy,
bro. In that situation, bro, if you spending $1,600 every month,
finances are issue. It's got to be paid back. It's got to be. It's got to be accounted for.
Yeah, because that's where we at in our relationship now. To whereas you have to borrow $1,000 because you're blowing $1,600 every month. And to where now you like, hey, can I borrow $1,000? If you ask me to borrow, and we married, then I think that says a lot about our situation. If you happen to come and borrow money from me, because I don't personally think that in the marriage you should really be borrowing money. I kind of feel like the money that comes in to a certain extent is managed by the managees or whoever you want to call it, who's managing the money in the house. You know what I mean? So,
but isn't that an umbrella thing? Because the main bills have to be paid. So
I think it should be allocations, is what I mean.
Okay.
Certain things should be allocated. I'm not saying however you want to run your finances, that's on y'all. But I'll tell you this, if you're not transparent about certain things, somebody going to end up 60, 65 years old, ready to retire, and somebody may not have saved up no money, and you may be footing the whole bill where you thought y'all was going to have 2.5 million. Y'all only got 1.5 million because she didn't save her million the whole time she's been working for 40 years. She's been spending her money on fake Birkin bags and stuff.
I'll tell you where you can see them outcomes at though. If you go any retail places between the hours of 4 and 9 p.m., like your retail stores, like where you buy department stores, Walmart or something like that, most of the people you see going to be at work are going to be single women from ages 45 to about 65 that have to work because they fit into the lack of financial maturity and that fits this discussion because I don't know men that want to work hard, that need to work in that same age bracket. So if you can't manage your expenses and your cost of doing business every day, it's going to show on you, like you just said, with the whole retirement thing. You're going to look up and somebody didn't have any financial discipline because they wanted to, spend all their money on Amazon boxes. You're going to look up and you'll be ready to get, be ready to lay down your sword for a little while and just say, I want to go fishing. And if she still got the same spending habits, you ain't going to do a lot of fishing. You're going to make a different decision. That's why a lot of people get divorced in their 60s too.
Well, is that it? Is it fair to
It
say
is
that
not about the money.
It's not about the money. It's
It
about
is not
respecting
about the
the
money. It
resources
is
in the
it's,
relationship.
it's not even that. It is the entitlement of
The
thinking that
entitlement.
you could do that and still keep a man. No,
wait
absolutely
a minute, do
not.
what? Do what? Do explain that. Do what?
Change the plan without discussing the plan with the union and thinking that the plan was just going to go the way that it was going to go. You are
Making
not about to
unilateral
be
decisions.
right. You are not about to be working when we get married and then all of a sudden stop and I'm just going to deal with it
Oh
and you
yeah.
not tell me you stopped.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. No. Go back to your boss, tell her you made a mistake and go punch back in, or you
But
could
Chris,
punch out of this relationship.
but Chris, you'd have that conversation with her. I mean, she's not.
That's what I'm
stupid.
saying. But that's
Okay,
why I
she's
said
not
earlier
stupid.
that it was kind of on him too, because he didn't vet properly by having this conversation about the money in the beginning, so that way this wouldn't occur. But it happened. You understand what I'm saying? And it didn't happen. It happened on his watch. So yes, it is his quote unquote fault, because the union, if it's the union, it always falls on the head. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. However, that entitled behavior, that's something that needs to be dealt with too. Like, you understand what I'm saying? No, you are not about to change the plan that we had in motion just because you feel like it and then think that it's just going to be okay and I'm going to pick up your slack. Absolutely not.
Okay,
No.
but okay, how about this then, Chris? Let me create this scenario for you guys pertaining to what this guy's talking about. I don't believe if I'm married to my wife and we go out for dinner, there's no way she's gonna pay or open up her purse and pay unless it's my birthday. She wants to treat me, whatever. But there's no way I'm gonna tell my wife, give me half. I am not doing that shit. Hell no. I'm a fucking man. I can afford dinner. Now I'm not saying depending on where we go, Papa Do's, all those other places. Wait. But the average dinner, we pick up the check, right?
Yeah, like all this stuff is basic. We're talking about the entitlement. The like, think about it like this. Don't even
thinking I'm supposed to do it just because you know what I'm saying. Like I don't have to do nothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Take the relationship out of it, Antoine. You wouldn't let somebody come live with you and then say, you know what, I like what you do. I'm gonna go ahead and quit my job, and then think that they can just stay with you.
Okay.
It's the same situation. Take the marriage part off of it. This is about linear. Some things are just transitive. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't abuse who takes care of you.
That's right. Okay.
If you wouldn't do this same behavior in somebody else's house, why do you think that somebody needs to give you a pass to be irresponsible and negligent with the relationship?
Okay. We agree on that. Okay.
That's the point.
That's all I'm saying. I cannot stand entitlement. Do not think just because you hold a specific position in my life that you get to just do stuff and I'm just not gonna say nothing and I'm just gonna deal with it. No.
Okay, since y'all so smart, then what does it mean to take care of someone, particularly in the context of a relationship? What does it mean to take care of someone?
Listen, to take care of someone in the sense of what? You're paying for the well-being of the household. You're paying the take care of the person. You're taking care of the stuff that keeps things alive, the electricity on. You're providing for the resources to maintain a life.
All right, well, let's stick a fork in that then. Let's pause real quick. Let me move to question 2 then. In what ways does providing for someone differ from taking care of them?
Well,
it doesn't.
It does. No, if you're taking care
it
of them.
doesn't.
Well, think about it this.
I want to hear what both of you guys have to say.
Okay, I'll say this in a quick nutshell. If the person doesn't have a job, person has no means of income, person has no survival skills, and let's say everything went to hell when they were with you. Now you're taking care of them because you're providing everything for them. Everything, because they have nothing. That's taking care of them because you're actually taking care of them. Providing is different. That's how I look at it.
I say they're synonymous in this one sense. They both involve the other person, and it's more about it's not about you. You understand what I'm saying? Providing for and taking care of are kind of synonymous to me. You can't. I do not believe you can have one without the other. However, do not think that you are entitled to it. That is where the blow up comes into play. You are not entitled to anything. I give you this because I want to give it to you. You understand what I'm saying? Just like I made this choice, I can unmake this choice. Now keep giving me a reason to keep making the choice. Now, once you stop giving me a reason, I'm gonna stop making the choice. You're not entitled to anything. I don't have to do nothing for you. You need a level 2 when dealing with me. You understand what I'm saying?
Women would know that. Come on now. The girl in your relationship in your life would know that.
The girl in my relationship, the girl in your relationship, the girl in Vic's relationship, Doc,
right?
They would know that because we have the balls to say something. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, but Chris, I really want to fight you on this, and I'm not. Wait, I shouldn't say fight. My bad. I believe women should be put on a pedestal.
They should
Let me
not.
explain. Women are delicate creatures, and they should be put on a pedestal in a sense that you take care of them, you nurture them, you do all that sort of. Now, when they turn that pedestal into entitlement, that's when you take them down from it.
That's what I am talking about.
And then put her back up where she belongs.
We agree.
They have to be women. You have to treat a woman like a woman.
I agree.
Yeah, he agreed. Yeah,
I agree.
When she's not being that
However,
woman,
exactly, when she is not being that woman, when she is not being the person that you need to take care of, when she's trying to play your role and my role at the same time in that movie that she got playing in her head that only stars her, but she plays all the goddamn characters in it, then that's when I stop.
We agree on the she-male.
You understand what I'm saying? I understand what you're saying. Women, I will always say this. Women, I swear to God, women are some of the most beautiful, delicate creatures in the world when they want to be. But when they stop, that's when I stop, because you are not about to play me and you and then still think you're going to get what you want out of me. Get out of here. Bye.
So is there ever a point where someone should feel entitled? And I'm asking because is entitlement sometimes similar to expectations? And what I mean by that is after a certain amount of time, should my wife be entitled or expect that I pay the mortgage every month? You know what I mean?
See, that's the thing.
Or are they different?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about paying bills in the house in a marriage. I'm gonna be homeless before you're homeless, so I'm gonna make sure everything is paid, so ain't nobody homeless. You don't have to worry about that. I got this. You understand what I'm saying? Antoine always says this: you never move in with a woman, she moves in with you. And if she's moving in with you, then she is under your covering, which means you got to do what you got to do to take care of who is under your covering. However, if she goes outside of that and doesn't fulfill her duties within that covering, she can get out, because you're not a helpmeet anymore. You're a burden. And I cannot have any burdens in my life, especially if I'm supposed to be taking care of you. And according to this piece of paper that I signed with the state, I'm legally responsible for you. You understand what I'm saying? No, I got rules I got to follow. You got rules you got to follow. I made the choice. You made the choice. Don't mess with me. You understand what I'm saying? Just don't.
But I'm going to say this. Okay, I'm going to say this. Chris, I believe a woman is entitled to her Valentine's thing because they love that lovey-dovey thing. You know, because Valentine's, listen, they're entitled to their Valentine's because I'll do the chocolate thing, you do the nighty thing, so it's a little fair exchange.
But that's equivalent exchange. That ain't no special. You getting some too.
No, yes. When you buy lingerie, I believe you're buying lingerie.
Y'all got to remember, Antoine want his fairy tale. Y'all,
yes, no, it's not fairy tale. I think. What do you think? I want my woman in granny panties? No. When she buy lingerie, she's buying it for me too. She's keeping me interested. My mother was entitled to Valentine's. She was entitled to her whatever she wanted to Christmas. She was entitled to Mother's Day. They're allowed. It's their day. So I don't have a problem with that. My father never shunned the Valentine's. He goes, okay, here comes the big dinner. Here comes the big gift. He knew what comes around every year. So they're entitled to that. It's their wedding. We just show up and sign the papers. But it's their wedding. I don't think my father said, "Oh, I'm gonna wear this tuxedo." No, this is what you're wearing. That's the way. My brother was the same way. This is the color of the. He didn't do nothing. He just wrote the check. Here you go. That's it. They're entitled to that. That's why
I think it comes down to the relationship, Antoine. Then I'll let you go, Dr. East. I've seen your finger. I think it comes down to what your wife wants or what your girl wants. Like, all women don't want flowers and stuff. You know what I mean? Some women don't want the Valentine stuff. Some women want the spontaneity all throughout the year. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So I think a lot of this goes down to just preferences in your relationship and what you and your wife want. I mean, what your wife or your lady like. You know what I mean? Some women like jewelry. Some women nowadays, some women want some J's for their birthday. They're like, hey, my birthday coming up. I want the new J's. You know, so I think it kind of comes down, if you're going to do those holidays and that's what y'all do in y'all relationship, I think you should do those things. But I also think that there are another side of that where some women don't want that, or some people that ain't really the traditional US holidays are not where they want to spend a lot of time and effort investing in. So I know a whole bunch of people are just kind of like, man, I'm over all of these holidays. You know what I mean?
Right.
We're gonna make sure we do something nice for our anniversary. You know what I mean?
There
That's
you
our
go.
anniversary. That's our day. You know, we may do something nice for Christmas or something, and you know what I mean? Versus January, you got this, February, you got this, March, you got this. Every single month, there's another holiday supporting some person's fantasy. I'll put it like that.
No, but as long, I mean, I see nothing wrong with Valentine's Day, bro. That's
Nothing wrong with it. If that's what you
some
want to
men-
celebrate.
Some men said, "Oh my God, it's Valentine's Day." Dude, that's the time she gets sexy and shit. You know what I mean? You want it when you come home from work. Well, she wants it on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but what about February the 13th?
About to say, what about a random
Yeah.
Thursday
What
when
about
I'm having a
February
bad day
the
at work and I want to come home and just wreck some
I
shop?
keep telling y'all, see all them questions y'all asking?
You understand what I'm saying?
Y'all interfering with Antoine's fairy tale.
What fairy
his
tale
fairy-
is that?
with it.
Hey,
What are
This
you
is the same
talking
dude
about?
that would cuss a
Valentine's Day,
girl
the
out for coming in the
carnations,
room when the
flowers,
red light is
teddy
on.
bears.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
All of it.
You guys are telling me you guys got no romantic bone in your body? It's like
No,
the
we're
woman,
not saying
the woman
that.
walks ahead of you.
No,
You don't open the door.
nobody-
She walks.
Antoine,
No,
we are
no,
not
we're
saying
about-
that.
Nobody's
We are
saying
not
that,
saying
Antoine.
that.
What you guys
But
are
what
talking
we are
about
saying
Valentine's
is,
as a fantasy.
we are not
So-
saying that. What we are
With the way you
saying
guys are
is,
talking
we
about
are
Valentine's.
doing this because we love them. We
Right.
want to cherish
Even
them.
though we don't care.
However, even though we really do not care,
Do not
we
care.
want to cherish them and we want to love them. But once that cherish and once that love gets viewed as entitlement, I am taking it away.
Yes.
That
All
is
right, go
all
ahead,
we
Dr.
are
Ethan.
saying. That is
Yes, her
all we
job
are
is to
saying.
show- Her job is to show.
Hold on. Hey, I want to hear what Dr. Easy got to say. He's been waiting over there patiently, so
That's
I got to
all
hear
good.
what he got to say.
So one, every relationship that I understand is dependent on the people in the relationship. So even if I have some expectations of what I want going into the relationship, technically my expectations don't matter until we communicate about it. So, even though I can respect, like a Valentine's Day, but if I'm with someone and they don't care about Valentine's Day and I like it, but I like them more, that means one of the things I'm probably going to do is switch what I'm doing. I'm not give a damn about Valentine's Day. So it's like, so when you're in a relationship where nothing's broken, you can tell people compromise and they work to be with each other.
Yeah.
Now your question was about providing for and taking care of. To me, providing for is giving somebody something that I don't have to give them. I don't have to give them. Taking care, and I'm gonna put another word out there. Please don't change it, Uncle. So this ain't that you. But a lot of times when we say taking care, what we're really saying is giving care, because you're giving them something. So to me, the difference is taking care is protecting something. Now I'm gonna say something. I know a lot of people, not us brothers here, but I'm sure people watching may not did, but I'm gonna say it. I can't protect what I can't control. Okay, I'm gonna say that I can't protect what I can't control. So if you're gonna be in my house and you don't spend money the way that I need us to do, if I'm providing everything, you're gonna probably have to go because you are now breaking the rules in my house. Now, what I love about what Antoine is saying is I completely agree. Women genetically, phenotypically are softer than men.
Phenotypically.
Okay, meaning when you, yes, sir. So when you look
SAT
at
word,
them,
I love it.
come on, my brother. So when you look at them,
When you
right,
see
you
them.
see the softness, you see the smoothness, you see that right now. Look at every man here on this call, right? You know what? And I know that we're all heterosexual. Everybody's muscular, hairy, maybe a little rough. You know what I'm saying? I mean, clean. Everybody look good. You know what I'm saying? But you can just see that, right? Okay, so that's what I love about what Antoine said. Is like doing the things to keep your woman soft. Because I agree with that. I believe that it'd be great for a woman to stay soft. I'm the provider. I'm the hunter. Let me, let me go out, and fight and do all of those things and bring things back. But it's lovely to be in a relationship with a partner who is willing to. And I'm gonna say it like this. Anybody seen that movie 300?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember? Okay, 300. I loved the King's wife when she told that man, "I push warriors out of me."
Queen Gorgo.
Yeah, I loved it when she said that, and when it was up to
Only
her.
Spartan women create real men.
Yes.
Create real men.
Yeah,
You know what? What should we do? Kill them. See, to me, right? When a woman is your partner, it's like Jada and Will. A real partner, you can't get up and go slap him because you ain't gonna screw up our stuff. If you are taking care of me, sit your ass down.
Yeah.
And you ain't getting up and doing that. I appreciate that you want to do it. If you think that, but you're not doing that right now, okay? Because you're providing and taking care. So the other thing is that when someone respects, now I'm going to what Chris said, when you respect what I'm doing, you stay in line with it. You see, you're going to look out for me because you don't want anything to go wrong. So then now that goes back to what my brother Vic said. One, it's all about accountability. If I'm in a relationship, okay, I'm going to be accountable. And if I'm aware, and I think that's why I go back to the first thing I said, we get in relationships and we get laxed. If I'm aware, I'm going to stay. Answer to your question, Unkle Junior, truthfully, the answer is no. You should not get comfortable and expect anything. You shouldn't, okay? Because we are not the same every day. Today I woke up happy. Tomorrow I may wake up pissed off. If you can keep your stuff in line, you can deal with certain things as I'm changing and as you're changing. Now, don't get me wrong. After 10 to 20 years of this, right, I think there's an understanding that this is happening. I still do not agree that there should be, I'm with Chris, there's no entitlement. And in some ways, you got to remind yourself that you should not expect this. Why? Because here's the thing. Unless we've been married for 50 years, I have not taken care of you the majority of your life. Grow the hell up, take care of your responsibilities, and remember, I could also die tomorrow. So are you going to take care of your business? You see what I'm saying? See, that's the thing. So I think that, in my opinion, when it comes to relationships, nobody should get comfortable. That's the problem. We assume that we're going to make it home every day. Don't get comfortable. That's what insurance is for. That's what a will is for, and have that protection. See, as I'm saying that, everybody's listening, right? Because I'm talking about life or death. I'm not even talking about emotions right now. That's what I'm saying. If you would keep your head in the right part of the game, you'll never actually get comfortable. You will do, like I said, what Vic said, you will hold yourself accountable all of the time. You're going to slip and fall ever so often because we're humans. We get used to it. Ooh, I get used to getting that thing, baby. I think I want to get something that we'd have done it 5 days straight. Can I? But see, if I come the wrong way, she'll check me. Hold up. Don't just assume I'm going to give it to you. What if I'm tired? You see, that's accountability. That's her checking me. That's me being vulnerable, but that's her letting me know. Most of the time it's okay, but right now it's not. So I just want to say this and my brother Antoine, and then I'll be quiet. I think that one of the things that's challenging is there's so many nuances in everything that we're saying. You see, it's like just as I want my bride, my wife, my girl, my lady to enjoy Valentine's Day. Come on, we all fellas. I don't give a shit about that damn day. I don't care nothing about Valentine's. Not for real. I need a day. It's an economic BS day.
Hold on.
Celebrate somebody who got killed.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
I remember
I give a
Antoine
shit about Valentine's
in.
Day. I give a shit about Valentine's Day because she gives a shit about Valentine's Day.
That's where I'm about to go. So
that
because
is
it matters to her.
It matters.
I'll do it right.
Her.
I don't care about Christmas. I don't even celebrate Christmas. I don't even believe in it anyway. And that's a whole different story. But somebody wants to get a gift for Christmas, okay. You know what I'm saying? I can respect that, but I got to say this, Chris. It's something that I've learned in my relationships. And this is where you say people don't talk about it. That's one of the things I make sure that people that they understand that, that in my past I make sure that they understand that, and even now I don't give a shit about this holiday. I don't give a damn about this. I don't give a damn about birthdays. I don't give a damn about special. I don't give a damn about none of that. And then they go and then I remind them, how will you know? Look at how I treat myself. My birthday is on a holiday, and I don't even care. My birthday is on the 4th of July, and I don't care. What makes you think I should care about yours? But if it matters to you and you respect me, you see what I'm saying? And you respect me, and you show up correctly, I have no problem sometimes bending, being like Bruce Lee said, I can be water with you. The minute you turn heat, I'm going to turn to ice. Don't want me to get stuck. So we got to stay liquid. Don't mess with the gas.
I guess I'm the
gas in the liquid state. And I think that's where people struggle. Keep it in the water. That's it. I'm done. Thank y'all for listening.
What you got, Antoine?
I'm the opposite of that.
Everybody has their.
I love me some holidays. I love me some Christmas. I love the baking. I love the whole cookie thing. I love that. Are you kidding me, man? Valentine's Day, shit. I'm looking for the sexiest lingerie you can buy. Are you kidding me? Father's Day, I'm looking for, if I ever get blessed with kids, for that Father's Day gift. I'm looking for everything. I think she should too. If my wife isn't into the holidays, I will make her get into the holidays. Because she making the eggnog, she cooking the turkey, she's going to put her ass in that kitchen and cook. Are you kidding me?
And
are
this
you
is why,
with an apron on, Antoine.
Wife is going to come off of Amazon. You see what I'm saying?
Out of your effing mind.
With a packing slip and a 30-day return policy.
I get you. It's like, and here's the thing about it. No man up in here cares. Like,
at all.
Okay with you liking all of those holidays. Do you, brother? We get it. There are some people who enjoy the holidays, and some people see it as the system, just want more of our money. You know what I mean? So
I learned from my dad.
It's okay with that. But I will when you get married, Antoine, here's what I want you to do. 1 year, whatever year it is, I want you to do something special for your wife Valentine's Day. And then I want you to do something similar on the equal playing field spontaneously without telling her, and see which one she feels more excited about.
I know, I get all that. I'm with you on that.
Okay.
It's just that I'm with you on that. It's just that, listen.
You like the holiday.
You guys want to take the lead. You guys want to be these men. You guys want to do all the things. There's a sacrifice and it comes at a price. I'm not saying if she doesn't show appreciation for all that we do, that's a different story. I'm not talking about that type of woman, right? I'm talking about a real feminine, I wear my long hair. I'm talking about a real appreciative woman. The woman you marry, the woman you build. Now, she's going to know all these things about you. She's going to know you're into the holidays. She's going to know you love. My father never loved all this stuff. He just loved to see the look on our faces and my mom's. That's how I grew up. He didn't really care about, he didn't even forgot Valentine's sometimes. We had to tell him, don't forget, oh shit, what am I gonna, and he just loved the look on her face. And sometimes he'd look at us and roll his eyes like, oh Jesus, a box of chocolate and she's losing it. Like stuff like that.
You just confirmed what we said.
Yeah, like I told you, Antoine take the long way to agree with us.
You just confirmed.
I never said I didn't agree.
Hey, look, that because you just like to hear yourself in long formation.
No, I never said I don't agree. But the way you guys are talking,
division.
Honestly, the way you guys are talking, you sound like to me like you just don't give a shit.
No,
that's
why you're not that.
But I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm just saying on this side and this side, it just looks like that. That's
I don't.
But see, that's we care about what she cares about. Okay,
exactly.
That's all.
If she cares about Valentine's Day, we care about Valentine's Day because she cares about it. But if she didn't care about Valentine's Day, we wouldn't care. If she cares about Christmas, we care about Christmas because she cares about Christmas. But if she didn't care about Christmas, it would be another day of us watching football with our drawers on and a couple and a cold beer. You understand what I'm saying? That's what we're saying. We do things because we know we love the woman that we're with.
It's about
reciprocation. Want to see this on her face. It's about reciprocation. However, if there is no however, if there is no equivalent exchange, then I'm cutting it into it.
Yeah,
the equivalent exchange.
So
chocolate for 90s, chocolate for Vicky's Secret.
Hey, Godiva's good, man.
That was good.
Hey, that is true though. Godiva is some good shit.
Godiva's the shit. Godiva will get you a lot. There's chocolate and then there's Godiva.
But for a lot of men, well, for some men, I think there's a population of men out there who really do look forward to it, because they may not get it all the time. And I'm not saying Antoine would fall into the category, but some men look forward to those holidays because in a lot of situations, the women may be a little bit more risky. Give them a little wine, give them, pat them on their butt, tell them they look cute, you know what I mean, and buy them some roses and some chocolate. Know a lot of dudes. Well, I know some dudes that have to do that
Because
on Valentine's Day.
they chase cat.
Well, because
a real feminine woman,
the ones that have to do it are ones that usually chase.
I don't know what you guys are talking. A real
but they don't be
feminine
getting
woman.
none.
Hey, well, let me answer the question so we can move on to the next one because in what ways does providing for someone differ from taking care of them, right? I was talking to Uncle about this the other day, and the first thing that came to my mind to show the difference between this is 600-pound life. Okay, like those people are being taken care of.
What is that?
My 600-pound life.
You've never seen that show?
Yeah.
You see how everybody. Hey, enlighten Antoine with that.
What is that?
Listen.
What are you lifting? That 600 pounds?
Just listen to it, Antoine.
You're not lifting nothing.
Listen. It is a show. It is a show about people over 600 pounds getting taken care of by the people in their lives that are going to see the doctor to possibly change their lives. Go if you have Max or you have cable, go to the TLC channel, go to On Demand and just watch an episode.
When I hear taking care of and providing for, like some people believe
how did they get to 600 pounds? I'm just curious because that's their
weight.
Are they sick?
That's their weight.
It's bad like to see. Sometimes it could be chromosome. It could be a disorder. It could be a disorder too. It could be a disorder.
Get there is different. Different ways.
That's why I just left it at the title.
Yeah.
Because you watch that show and you
will watch an episode and get pissed off.
People are enabled. You know what I'm saying?
Are they married? Are they married people?
Some of them.
I call it forced monogamy, but that's a whole nother show.
Hey, you can only have the relationship that you can afford. So
600 pounds though? God damn.
Hey, that's just the baseline. That's at least 600 pounds.
That's at least.
There's been some 800-pounders on that show.
700s, 8s, yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, no. I seen one.
Man, it's real.
Is that before or after marriage? That's got to be after marriage, right?
It depends.
No, sometimes they get married already weighing 600 pounds, man.
Yeah.
But go ahead with your talking point.
You're a desperate man.
We stuck on how they got.
That's why I said men that chase it will make different choices behind the women that they will use their resources towards.
Come on.
This is why I always say you can only have the relationship that reflects your personal accountability. There's no way that I would be with somebody on the 600-pound life. You know what I'm saying? Like at some point when you provided so much for someone that you're an enabler now. You know what I'm saying? So that's when the level of entitlement is a form of abuse, and it becomes enabling of bad behavior, you know? So when you're taking care of someone that is unable to take care of themselves because of a lack of accountability, a lack of discipline, that's when you got to draw the line. It doesn't even matter. I use 600-pound life as an extreme overarching thing, but the same concept that goes into why you should take care of yourself so you're not a burden on somebody else applies to people financially. It applies to people when it comes down to time management. It applies to when people come down to borrowing your car or like, you know what I'm saying, using your resources. Because if you keep allowing yourself to be, I guess, hindered or burdened because you won't put up a barrier or you won't put up a boundary, you know, you got to understand, like, you're courting the abuse that you're getting. Just like when they tell people, man, if so-and-so hurt you, why you stay in a relationship? Well, it's the same thing with your wallet. See, a lot of women want permission to abuse a man's wallet and then blame her understanding of finances on how she was raised. I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what it comes down to. This is why I keep coming back to the same thing. if you cannot have the least amount of resources and think you can make any of the rules. You have to be adjustable. You can't make unilateral decisions, just like Chris brought up, and as a scenario, you just can't make a decision unilaterally. When you came in on the one different situation, if you was at work, you would argue that somebody changed your duty requirements if they just threw some more stuff on your plate, right? So at home, if you take that same logic into the plate, so you made me financially obligated to take care of you because you had an emotional decision, you know what I'm saying, that changed your outlook based on everything that's on the screenshot. That's what I'm talking about. Everything else is just speculation. But the behavior says that you're taking advantage of somebody. The outcome says your behavior triggered the outcome. Period. All of it comes back to what decision did you make that changed the scope of how the resources are used in a relationship?
I think the lack of respect went away. The lack of respect went away. I mean, she obviously is not taking you into consideration anymore. And like Chris says, she's entitled now. And you know what? I blame the man for letting it get to that. Because there were signs along the way. There were signs along the way. You just, there were signs along the way. You just didn't want to check them at the time you were getting them. I refuse to believe a woman could change overnight and say all of a sudden she knows you from A to B, and all of a sudden she's just not appreciative, or she starts taking advantage of you, and you don't say, hey, wait a minute, what happened to that money? Why are you spending you don't do nothing? You just let it go crazy? I don't think so. I think that's the man's job to say, wait a minute, something's wrong here. If you're leading, I can't blame her for that. She's doing what a woman does.
Yeah, I feel you. So
I know that there's something else going on in the chat, so I won't try to address an individual in particular, but I will say this: most relationships or couple problems break up over single problems. So I think it makes sense that we're having this conversation, whether you're in a relationship or not. And I think that that's one of the things that people need to understand is that if you can't talk about it when you're single or from from that perspective, and you don't need to wait to get in a relationship and try to figure certain things out if you can. So I just wanted to say that because I think that there's I don't know, I see just like some comments or something going on, but that's the thing. I mean, research has shown that, dumb people have shown that too, and intelligent people, that most or if not all relationships break up over single people problems. So we need to be having this conversation.
But 600 pounds, though, dude.
Jesus.
Hey, we offer that, Antoine. Hey, we're going to move on.
I'm sorry. I have to watch the show now. I have to watch it.
I put a link in the private chat for you. You can just go in there.
I'll look at it later. I don't look at the chats.
You'll pull it up. But with that being said, we all live in a digital age. And one of the words we use a lot is social media. And social media, good, bad, or indifferent, has the ability and influences a lot of people. What people hear on this show today, or this YouTube channel, or any other platform they do, it sometimes can start formulating an opinion, or start formulating or you sometimes change or alter people's perception and the way they think about things, good, bad, or indifferent. And with that being said, what do you think are some of the common misconceptions or societal pressures regarding the roles of caregiving and financial provisions in relationships? So, and I know we're a lot of times we're talking about marriages or male-female relationships, but I don't want to necessarily limit it to that. We can talk about relationships between us and our children. We can talk about relationships between us and parents. It's a lot of other different types of relationships where can be some caregiving or some financial provisions, being allocated in relationships. So, just what do you think some of the common misconceptions and societal pressures?
I got one. And I'll apologize first by saying sorry about the misogyny and the sexism that was in every industry that anybody ever works in, because I do think that this kind of minimized women a lot and and put women down. So I just want to apologize for that. Now say my statement. A misconception is that we can all do the same thing, and we can't. A misconception that we can all deal with the same stuff, and we can't, and that we can all tolerate the same thing. We can't, you know. And so, so but I do think that it would. I needed to say the first part first because I do think that
No, you didn't.
acknowledge that. So I just not that. Well, I'm with you, brother. I mean, I guess we don't have to, but I guess I just wanted to in case there's some people who flip that like, no, I can definitely acknowledge that, but because it ain't even a contrast. We all cannot do the same things. So we have strengths and we have things that we need to work on. Sometimes we need to let the people operate in their strengths. So
a common misconception too to what doctor is saying is that you're her man, you're her husband, you have to do this. You're her man, you have to do this. A lot of people put that pressure on because you're married or because she's your significant other, you're in a solid relationship. It's your obligation to do it. Like you have no right to kind of like check her because she's your wife. Like you can't, elevate into a point where you're like pissed off. No, you're allowed. It's okay. It depends on how far you take it, but I think a lot of misconception is you can't do that. Oh, it's like taboo.
Mm-hmm.
I would say a common misconception is that it's always one-sided, coming from one particular party, and the other party doesn't have to do anything to get it. That is a common misconception. Everything is equivalent exchange. Everything.
Exchange. Yeah.
You cannot gain without sacrifice, and you have to sacrifice first.
But Chris, that's powerful what you just said. Everything, because in my opinion, I think that's what we try to get away from is, it should be more than an exchange. First, every engagement or interaction is an exchange.
Yeah.
That's what I love about what you just said. And so I think that goes back to the question about should we get kind of accustomed? The answer is no. That's one of the, what Christian said is the main reason why. Everything we do is an exchange. It just is. So even if I do something for you, which I would gladly do, it's almost like always be mindful of the fact that I don't have to do it. See, it's almost like, I'm not saying you got to say it, just be mindful of it, so then it helps you to appreciate something more. I just wanted to say that, and thank you, Chris, for sharing that.
And understand that the equivalence is not up to you. You don't get to decide what's equivalent. You do not.
Okay.
I think the societal pressures regarding the roles of caregiving and financial provision in relationships is based on morals and how you was raised. You know what I'm saying? Like Antoine got a whole different perception, of what, his ideal situation looks like. Doc, everybody else up here on the panel got their own, experience. And it either works with how they were raised or works in direct conflict to what they try to do in the world. Like how you were taught in the house is what you vet when you go to school. Like, you work, with kids all the time. I'm pretty sure you heard students say, well, my mom and dad taught me this at home. So they try to vet what they've been taught underneath their roof out in the world. And you spend your rest of your life doing that. You really spend a lot of your life debunking how you was raised. Like Chris has had moments, where he's talked about what he knew was okay to say and what we didn't know what was okay to say. So I think a lot of misconceptions come from underneath your own roof. It comes from the culture you're raised in, because people move differently depending on the zip code. Antoine makes different decisions, because of how he was raised, and his personal experiences in life. And the same is true for everyone else. So everything else, when you look at it, the misconception is that everybody ain't raised right. Everybody's not raised the same way. We all have different views at the same, of the same objective. Some people base a lot of their decision making off snap judgment, perceptions. They react. Some people process. Some people take a little bit longer to process. And all in all, everybody's processing time varies. Depending on how they were raised.
Yeah, I think one of the societal pressures is just, if I'm just going to take social media, and I'm going to take algorithms, right? So a lot of time what I hear is that what's on your FYP is what you choose to look at, right? So if I choose to look at butt naked freaks, then butt naked freaks gonna be on my timeline. If I choose to look at everything Catholicism is going to end up on my timeline. And I'm going to keep getting fed more and more of that. So the societal pressure, one of the things that can happen with that, I think, is that if someone falls into one of those rabbit holes of wrong or unvaluable information, right? So now they have some big, huge red pill, ideologies, or angry red pill ideologies about how you're supposed to treat a woman in your relationship, and this is all so you spend all of your time and all of your energy getting fed that information over and over and over, and it's never vetted, right? It's not vetted with the woman or lady, it's not vetted with other women or other people in your family or other men. So you just spend so much time consuming this information to where now you become so closed-minded, you're not even willing to look and see if there's an alternate way of doing it. Like, and there's nothing wrong with having, your wall up or having the line drawn where you saying this is exactly what I want and what I'm going to expect out of my woman or my man. If no ifs, ands, or buts, I'm not changing, I'm adjusting. I'm not adjusting. I think the other side of that, what happens is if you get stuck in that, you may lose because you're not being open-mindedness. And I think that's one of the negative things about the social media. I like social media, but I think there's the bad side about that is that if you find yourself in a negative rabbit hole, you're going to keep getting fed more and more of that, and then it can eventually start adjusting or changing your mindsets or your values on how you think about certain things. And I think that's a big danger. So to kind of bring all of this back, those societal pressures regarding the roles in caregiving, if you're getting fed, this is how I'm supposed to treat my wife when it comes to caregiving, and this is why I'm supposed to treat my wife in my relationship when it comes to financial provision, and you only get that, I think you limit yourself, and you can find yourself in a matter of a months or years on the other side of a divorce or a broken up relationship because you're only looking at relationships from one point of view. But I want to know what you guys think about that.
I do think you got limited views, and eventually, you're gonna have to adjust. If you're not adjustable, if you aren't flexible, if you don't respect your own boundaries, you're gonna watch a lot of things, a lot of decisions get made on behalf of the other person and not you. You're gonna get left out because if you're already getting your resources drained, and because like this whole conversation is about distinguishing whether or not you're being abused financially, or in some kind of way. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever, being coaching or mentoring or something like that, you're not being reciprocated in some kind of way. So not, like now you're going down the rabbit hole of, am I being abused? Am I being mishandled? And how do I stand up for myself? Right. So I think all of this still in the same vein of, recognizing your triggers and vetting people the right way. Like you said, even if you use non-romantic relationships, that's why I always bring up like work relationships, because the same reciprocity is required to work with other people that is required in your relationships underneath your own roof. Like if you're very inflexible, very stern, very argumentative, you're going to have that reflected in other people that work with you too. Romantically, what I'm saying, romantic relationships notwithstanding. I mean, it's not exempt from anything else, because we recognize how to access what we want, and we know we have to contribute to it. So at some point, if all you do is take away, you're a negative person by behavior. Your behavior defines what you really, really want from the other person and how you treat them. So if you have a pattern of behavior in which you're always taking away and you rarely bring an offering of some sort, you're going to be seen as a liability, and then that's when somebody's going to start trying to figure out the difference in whether or not they're taking care of you or provide for you, or are you enabling bad behavior and actually supporting your abuser.
Nothing? Okay. Well, you know what we're gonna do? We got about 15 more minutes left. And instead of hitting those rest of them talking points, I am going to hit these true false questions. True false questions. All right. And we can elaborate on these if we want to. All right. So the first one, actually, before I do that, let me look at the comments real quick. I know I missed a whole bunch, man. There was one that I had starred. Yeah, I ain't gonna worry about that one. Anyway, here's what I do. Appreciate everybody that has been in the chat, the comments, all those different things. I really appreciate your engagement and just being here tonight. Like I said, we got about 15 minutes left. What we're gonna do to kind of end the show, we're not gonna do final thoughts or anything like that tonight. We're just gonna end with the true false questions tonight. So feel free to engage with them if you want to. But let's roll with it. True false. Where is the first one? Where is it at? True false. Taking care of her solely refers to providing financial support and meeting her material needs.
False.
False.
That is definitely false.
Because it says solely.
That but taking care of her.
Yeah, but let's see what Antoine got to say. Yes.
Yeah, that's taking care of her. Because look, financial, she's not making money. Support, well, you're in a relationship. Meeting her material needs, meaning what? The hair, the makeup, and all that stuff. Is that what you're saying?
It's nothing to say
Whatever her
past
material
false.
needs are.
It's nothing to say past false.
That's taking care of a person right there for me.
No.
I see it.
No.
Ain't nothing wrong. We don't have to agree.
We don't have to agree.
You don't have to agree.
I
We're
know
all
we all think different.
And we're all speaking from different talking points.
Yeah.
We're all speaking from different vantage points. Like Antoine, the only one that's here, like Antoine loves his pots. Antoine's a creator. You know what I mean? Antoine, like,
and don't come down here when that red light on.
Antoine,
like,
nobody else cares about.
Do it.
Hey, look, Antoine
I'ma
cares
cut
about
you
things
smooth
that
out.
nobody else cares about.
there's a whole group of Antoines out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Antoine
I
ain't the
can't
only
be the only one.
Antoine.
Pots and pans
Antoine.
painters. You know what I'm
He's
saying?
just the
With
only
ponytails.
Antoine I know.
Hey, that shit's expensive, man. What are you talking about? I ain't gonna let nobody use a fork in it. Yeah, no.
Look, see, there's a group of people out there for you, man.
So I would say true. However, I say false because it says solely. So the word solely to me is what makes it false. That's me. But like I said, we got our own true and false. That's why we're true or false. We don't have to agree. True or false, providing for her encompasses emotional support and being there for her during challenging times.
That's true. That's true.
I say generally true.
Yeah. It's just generally true.
I mean, like because if you take away provision, right, you take away security. So I don't think people remain emotionally intact if they unstable or they insecure spaces. You know what I'm saying? Or they feel like they got to be put in a position where they got to react. And I think it's about perspective and, you know what I'm saying, and how you see it. But like, if you can't provide, then it's a lot of things you can't ensure. That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Chris, here, because I
Yeah.
got a point. But I
wanna see what Chris got.
I want to hear what my brother got, because we both
Yeah,
like
Chris is meditating on this one. I got to hear Chris. Boy, you meditating.
I don't know. I think this would lean towards more of the taking care of her aspect.
That's what I was going to do. Please finish.
You understand what I'm saying? Because when I think provision, that's when I think material. That's when I think house, lights, car, phone. Make sure everything is all right. Make sure you got something to come home to. But taking care of her means I'm giving her that security that she can come to me. I'm giving her that emotional support that she can come to me. That's why I said that's why I said that they're kind of synonymous, but they're not they're the same but different. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, I would say in this particular sentence, the way that it is formed, I would say false is based off of what my definition of taking care and providing is. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes all sense over here.
It's relative. Like you guys are single, so your perspective on it is gonna look different. And once you're in a relationship, that definition, it either expands, shrinks, it adjusts. Like I think being adjustable is still pivots off of your resources and your willingness to provide. But if you stingy and you know, like, or you're not really into a long-term relationship, or if you have standards that put you in like more of a partnership type of relationship, a 50-50 relationship, like there's degrees to this and what providing looks like, you know. Now if you're talking about like traditional provision, where you know, like you got a stay-at-home wife and she take care of the kids, and you go out in the field and you do whatever you do in the field, and you come home and you put your lunchbox on the table, if you got like a blue collar gig or something like that, providing gonna look way different too. You know what I'm saying? Because if you take away what she does that makes his coming home rewarding, you know what I'm saying, then his emotional support is gonna be off. It's really that fickle, you know what I'm saying? Like it's some people get criticized for the smallest things, like when it comes down, yeah, it might be finances or whatever, but there's triggers that lead up to those moments where somebody decides they was going to abuse you or not. You know what I'm saying?
So here's what I'm thinking. If we take off whether it's providing for or taking care of, I think that we as men need to provide a space for some emotional support during challenging times. And that's what I mean. So whether it's providing for her or taking care of her, if there's something going on, I do think that there is a certain amount of that we do take on, but we don't take on everything. Like if you're
No,
having a fight with your sister, that's
can't
on
do that.
y'all.
Can't do that with that.
Depend on how big and how severe it is, and if it's coming into the house.
If it comes into the house, it's different.
Yeah. But there are certain things, you know, I just gave it as an example. But I think there are certain things like if you know, if your wife or something is, you know, there's someone who may have passed away in the family or something like that, and she's dealing with something like that. I think that we have to allow for some space for certain things like that. I don't think it's our job to fix our wives. That's not what we do. We can't
Nope.
do that. We can't fix another person,
Nope.
especially if you're not trained or qualified or whatever. But I think at the end of the day, if I'm looking at this, we need to allow some space for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. All right. Let me move on. You know what? I'm gonna go to the chat for this one. So I saw one from Reload Slim. He threw up a true false question, and since they put it in there, let's roll with it. So true or false? Holding her accountable is taking care of her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chris. Pew, pew, pew. Shoot it up.
I'm not doing this with you tonight.
Hey,
Absolutely
No,
not.
let's say yeah.
It's not for me. All
Okay.
I'm saying, Chris, is this. Hold up, Paul, before you go.
Yeah.
We have a viewer who has took their time typing this question for us.
Shout out to
Right?
Reload
And
Slim.
we owe
Shout out
this
to
person
Reloaded.
some value to true or false this question for him, Chris.
That is so true.
Did I
All
say it?
right, man. Yes, I
Okay.
am going to say it is true.
There
Because
you go.
if you Doc said it earlier, but I'm going to change up the wording. You cannot protect, but you cannot correct.
Chris with the nice cleanup
Chris.
from Dr.
Come on,
Easley.
bro.
What is going on?
Well done. Well done. I like
What
that.
is going on?
It is it is the same thing, but I do not
Dr.
like to
Easley
use the
used
word.
that trigger word with the C.
Right. I do
don't
not like to
that
use the word control.
brother.
I specifically do not
But
like
it
to
is
use that
control.
word because it is not
agree
up
with
to
you
me
on
to
that.
control anybody. I have to control me. You know what you can and can't do. Now, if you do not have the control in yourself to do or not do what you're supposed to do, why are you here? That is when I make the grown-up decision to take the L. Or I come to you because I give you a little bit of grace. Like I said, man, you should not have to tell a grown-up something more than once. You should not have to tell a grown-up something more than once. Now, if I have to constantly repeat myself or you constantly pushing that, then that really means you really don't care. And that really means I don't need you in my life. Goodbye.
Look, Chris, I like, hey, you know what my motto is. Hey, if I don't come in her and I don't come from her, you can't do nothing but work for me or twerk for me. There's no in between. You know what I'm saying? Because if I ain't responsible for you, I don't owe you nothing. It's just what it is. Like, when you think about it, like, what do you be like? Think about it, right? If she's not in your care, protection, or provision, right? What are you entertaining outside of her?
There we go.
If she better be working or twerking, either way. And even then, it's got to amount to some level of something that we can work off of. Bottom line.
Yeah.
See, when I love Chris's word, like, but control isn't about force or making someone do something, but it's about managing. So it's like if I like if I'm the manager, then I have to be in control because everything has to operate from the vision of the things that I'm putting together to make it work. You see, if you align with that, then you're in it with me. And that's why I appreciate what Lee G or someone just said, because holding someone accountable actually is protecting them. Because when you're holding them, because I think that maturation is a really important thing that we haven't really talked about much without using the word. But we talked about it without using the word. And I believe that holding someone accountable when you are mature and you can take correction. That's why I appreciate what Christian said, then you are protecting you, because to protect you is to protect me. You see, and I think that's what sometimes you remember what I said. Most relationships break up over single people problems because people don't know how to merge and become a team, and it's only going to be one quarterback at a time. I didn't say one quarterback, period. There's going to be one quarterback at a time. Our quarterback, your quarterback. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you do something, sometimes like she'll do something. And there are things that she has to be able to control so that the environment stays peaceful. There are things that I have to be able to control so that the environment stays paid for. You see, so so I think that's the, so it's like that's the partnership. That's why I said I agree with Chris with the last thing. I love what Vic said. I kind of think we were saying the same thing. That's why I take his definition of it. I bring providing for. That's why I say providing is doing something I don't have to do. So I'm giving you something, and taking care is something out of protection. And to me, if I'm leaning to your emotional and your physical needs, to me, that's a form of protection. Because if I'm tending to them, you don't got to go out somewhere else. So then I'll say it again. I can't protect what I can't control.
I don't like that word submissive either. I'll put that right there too.
I'm with you. Hey, wait. Hold on, real quick. I'm with Antoine on that, right? But the same way that I made my comment about the exchange, a lot of people don't like the word exchange. It's not exchange. Everything is in exchange. Right. So in order to be in a relationship, you have to submit to the person on certain levels. You see, but if we only see submissive as giving up your power,
subjugation,
taking your power, subjugate. You see, so I'm not arguing with you.
It is not the same thing.
I'm saying that I hear you, but I think that's something. That's the reason why I say I think that there's a little bit of nuance in it.
Right.
But I'm not disagreeing with you, because if you just said submit and leave it at that, I don't like that. Like, no.
Yeah, the way that mainstream media and social media have perverted that word gives it a bad taste in everybody's mouths.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I can understand why a lot of people wouldn't like that word. I get it, because
and control too. So
Yeah,
lifetime.
I get it, but it at the same token, whether you like the word or not, at base level, base definition, you still got to do it.
Everybody
Yeah.
submits.
Hey, let me roll to the next question, folks. We got through 2 of them so far. 3, here we go. True or false? Taking care of her is solely the responsibility of one partner in a relationship.
False.
False.
That's kind of funky. That's like,
Yeah, that's
that sound poly. Yeah, it sounds like a question for a poly group. You know what I'm saying? I think it's solely the
is
responsibility.
there more than one her?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, how many hers in this relationship? You know, taking care of her is solely the responsibility
Well,
of one partner.
because some people think that
Yeah, I
it's
guess. Yeah, I need clarity.
her responsibility to take care of her, and some people think, oh, it's his responsibility to take care of me. So that's why I'm asking. That's why the question is posed.
Well, this is about self. I think self-control says take care of yourself so you can be available to take care of your partner in a relationship or compliment your partner.
So at the end of the day,
No, false.
let's do this. So is it solely my responsibility to take care of my wife, or is it mine and her responsibility to take care of my wife?
Please let me answer this.
So
Cool.
that's
Please.
that's what I'm seeing as I look at this question.
First, this is just
Mhm.
my opinion. It is
Mhm.
your responsibility to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
It is my desire if I do that first. So the question is it, am I solely responsible? I'm only responsible if you give me the responsibility and if I accept it. So that's the reason why, like, taking care of her is solely the responsibility of one partner. First, the answer is, for me, is false,
Mhm.
because everyone has different needs. You can't be everything to one person. And there are going to be times when she or he may need to go do something with somebody else to get their needs taken care of. Now, I'm not talking about infidelity. I'm not talking about drugs. I'm not talking about drinking. I'm talking about social interaction. I'm talking about an exchange. Okay, I'm talking about that. So for me, no, I don't think it's the responsibility. I think it is the desire, and if you accept the desire, now is your responsibility. But just to say it's mine now, because I don't know. It's just I don't believe that anyone should be held hostage in a relationship, and whatever you do, you should want to do.
But if
And
you're
that's
taking the lead, aren't you
no.
taking care of the person if you're taking the lead?
Yeah, but I don't have to.
Yeah, I can agree.
I think taking the lead.
Men shouldn't be crying about when they say we don't lead.
Well, here's the thing, though, Antoine. I think that's what Dr. Easley is talking about is a component of leadership overall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's about discernment. Like everything that we're discussing the itemized details of what makes up, you know what I'm saying, healthy leadership and people that probably shouldn't be in a relationship. So, like, because like if you're not prepared to take care of yourself, then it's kind of foolish to think that the person you want to be with is going to take care of you.
Ooh, I
If
got
they
a good next
disrespect
That's all I'm
one.
saying.
themselves,
That's all I'm saying.
if they disrespect themselves, isn't it foolish to think that they would treat you better than they treat themselves?
No, you're right. It's just that if I'm in the lead of my house, it's a man's burden if the relationship in the house, if the overall providing fails, it slowly falls on the man, right? It does. It solely falls on the man. If the overall, generally speaking, the overall household fails, that's the leadership of the man. That's nothing. The woman is just contributing to what happened, but the failure is on the man, right?
And we're talking about this from a healthy aspect. If you
from a healthy aspect,
from a healthy aspect, I think absolutely the man is going to take responsibility of it.
Right.
But like unhealthy, which is why I said if it's on the opposite end, we're talking about people that have no business in a relationship.
Yeah.
If you're trying to itemize and scrutinize every single thing that makes up, you know, like what it is to be in a healthy relationship with a yay or nay or all or none, you know, you're going to end up being, you know what I'm saying, just on a debate side, arguing against your own interests at some point, you know?
Okay.
So in this situation, I think this is about like Garfield said earlier, providing a space so everybody can be the healthiest version of themselves and they can show up and be their best version of themselves for the sake of the relationship. You know what I'm saying? And not putting this weird entitlement, using what Chris was talking about, that sets a standard for the other person that thinks that the other person is always going to solve their problem or come in and correct it, which goes back to the screenshot of the $800 every 2 weeks being thrown away because somebody said, I don't want to work that job no more. And even in the comments, somebody said women have been groomed to believe that somebody's supposed to take care of them. But that's a fairy tale in itself. That's a lack of accountability to even say that, because it's asinine to think you're entitled for somebody to come take care of you. So all of this still comes back to it's a fairy tale.
But see,
all right, hold on.
Wait.
I'm trying to get through these wish comments. We're spending way too long on them. All right, so next one. Antoine should like this one. True or false? Financial provision is more important than emotional support in maintaining a healthy relationship.
Absolutely. not even. Absolutely, I can't take love. Love ain't gonna pay my mortgage. Love ain't gonna pay my mortgage. Love you, honey, but you ain't gonna pay my mortgage. No. Financial provision is very important. I like the roof I have over my head. You can love me later. No.
Financial provision is more important than emotional support in maintaining a healthy relationship. From the man's perspective, absolutely.
That's what I'm speaking from.
On the woman's perspective, the women that we will be attracted to we're not looking for provision from a woman.
Exactly.
So like somebody provide this, we wouldn't care. It wouldn't even be a thing. Like the men that we are, we're not. Hey, babe, can you ensure that you provide financial provision? You know what I'm saying? And in exchange,
coming up.
Can I be your husband, the wife?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, at some point you can be arguing over who panties. You know
like her money all of a sudden is my money. Really?
So, and I'll say this too, right? The men that are looking for provision from a woman chase women. That's it. Like men that chase women for financial, like they pursue women based on their resources, because that's all they pursue. That's probably what they was raised by too.
But if you're a woman, but Vic, can we agree? If you're a woman and you go to a man that you have to provide for him, I mean, you're paying for what you get. Come on, man. You know what kind of man he is.
You can only have the relationship that you can afford.
Real quick, Dr. Easy and Chris, what y'all got on this one?
Nothing.
Nothing. Boom. I like it.
Because you already said it.
I echo with Vic.
I have to go with Vic. You already said it. We're not looking for provision from our woman.
I echo Vic.
I'm not trying to be the wife. You understand what I'm saying? Like, get out of here. No, and it is not an ego thing. I want you to understand that it is not an ego thing. There are things that I am supposed to do, and there are things that you are supposed to do. You provide you provide the emotional support. I provide the financial provision, so that way you have some place to emotionally support.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn right.
False. Emotional care and understanding are essential components of providing for her.
That's true.
Yeah.
I would say yeah.
I can roll with that.
I can roll with that.
I think it's called empathy. I think it's true.
That's literally you said it.
Here we go. Next, true false. A healthy relationship can thrive without either partner taking care of or providing for the other.
No.
False.
The other.
Oh, okay.
No, that's false. And I'll qualify my statement why I said it's false. Okay, you said a healthy relationship. Now, I'm not trying to be all out there, but a healthy relationship can also be a friendship. Just think about the people that you're actually tight with. The people that I'm tight with, we provide for each other. right? They can call me and I can listen to them. I can call them and they'll listen to me. We work together. Hey, Garfield, like that's my friend. Hey, what's going on? Like, we're supposed to be getting up tomorrow. So right there, right? He's done things for me. I do things for him. That's the reason why I say no. Now, if you want to add now sensuality and relationship and then make it heterosexual, for me, it's not the same thing, but it's just a different type of relationship. And we have to provide for each other and take care of each other in certain ways. If we don't, the relationship will not thrive. So that's all I'm saying. That's why I said that to me is false.
I get that.
I agree with that, Dr. Easy, because the wolf pack thrives and we haven't had to do anything for each other other than just, like show up and be present.
Show up and talk shit.
Yeah, show up, talk shit. Nobody said, hey, it's your week to pay the bills. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Vic, would that be a relationship though? The wolf pack is a relationship. No, talking about the question though.
A healthy relationship can thrive without either partner taking care
of. Why are you in there then?
But see, here's the thing. No, it cannot. But what I need might not be the same thing that you need. And that's the misconception. People think that the way that they take care of themselves is how they're supposed to take care of other people. And that is not the case. I need different stuff. You need different stuff. Let's find a medium. I can't take care of you better than you can take care of you. You can't take care of me better than I can take care of me. Right. However, there might be things that you have that I need, and there might be things that I have that you need, and they will never look the same, ever.
Yeah. And the thing is, I believe that taking care of or providing for, I think this whole true false is different. If you say a healthy relationship can thrive without either partner having respect for the other, I think these things in quotations amount to respect. It encompasses empathy and understanding. And if you can't provide understanding and take care of yourself at a minimum, you don't respect the relationship because you don't respect you.
And two more, gents.
Okay.
Two more. Then we out. All right. True, false. Communication and understanding each other's needs play a significant role in achieving a balance between caregiving and financial support.
Yeah. True. That is 100% true. Communication is everything. Yeah.
Comprehension is everything. Comprehension is everything, not even communication.
Yeah, I think, I mean, on the surface, you could say true, but I think if you dig a little bit deeper, you could definitely make this false. But it is what it is. Last one, gents. Y'all still here? All right, here we go. Last but not least, providing for her means fulfilling all her desires and wishes, regardless of practicality or feasibility.
False.
Don't even ruin the night.
Look,
I think we all got talk. Not ruin the night. If you, I love y'all. I'll cuss you out if you say true.
There you go. They got an app. They got an app for this. It's called the Disney Channel. You see what I'm saying?
Thank you. Ain't no truth in that.
The only place that this happens from top to bottom is on TV.
But see,
but there are some people who think that your job is to make sure I have everything that I need and want.
Whatever
you want to.
Again, take your morals and values from under the roof in which you was raised and take it in the world and see if it works. Outcomes are the only thing that can speak for your way of thinking. If you get what you're supposed to get in life based on how you was raised, you was probably raised the right way. You know what I'm saying? To some degree, you was raised with something that can be easily replicated if you apply some consistency to it and you believed in it, right? Good, bad, and indifferent. But if you leave the house thinking that the Care Bears are going to be at the mailbox and the Power Rangers are going to be at Walmart and the Ninja Turtles are going to be at Target, and you don't see them and you go looking for them every day, I can see the circle that you can be that you'll be driving into, thinking that like, you remember when people walking around trying to catch Pokemon?
It was the goofiest thing I ever seen in my life.
If you leave the house on a fantasy, you playing Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? You out there walking behind ideas and somebody else's logic and opinion.
But can we all agree that, let's just, for the sake of this conversation, if a man even makes less than a woman, let's say the woman really makes more than the man, we still are in charge. We still lead. We still are the head, right? Because financial really has nothing to do with it.
I don't know. You put a lot of stock in financial earlier.
Yeah, but I'm a man.
Okay, I can see that.
I'm a man. So if I'm a man, I don't care how much she's making.
Yeah.
I'm still lead. Like, this is the way it's gonna go down.
That's
understood.
If your wife doubles your annual salary, you still
really don't care. Really don't care. I will never wear the skirt, and she will never wear the pants ever. Like, you're still coming home to a man.
I will never be a wife.
That's an example of submitting.
Hey, right there.
That is an example of submitting right there, though.
And Antoine, you know what I like about what you said is because that's the way it comes from the way that you was raised, right?
Yeah.
But if you go in the world and you meet a woman that makes triple whatever it is that you make, and she got more resources, do you think she gonna make less rules just because you the man?
Really don't care, because I'm gonna let her know she's a woman and I'm the man. And if it don't work that way, if she's gonna know. She's gonna know.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying for practicality, let's just test the theory, right?
Right.
What's the probability of a man who makes 3 times less than his significant other being in the lead effectively, and what examples of that do we have to show?
I'll tell you this. It all depends on how you dictate that to the woman. All right? Let me tell you something. You give a dog a long leash, it'll piss and shit everywhere. You give a dog a short leash, it'll piss and shit right next to you. In a relationship, you have to establish with that woman, no matter if she's the head of Cedar Cyanide, you are the man. You're coming home to a man. You ain't coming home to your significant other and we're equal and you're going to no, you can't tell me how to be a man like I can't tell you how to be a woman. But there's roles here. You're the nurturer and I'm the provider. No matter, even if you think you can provide more. At the end of the day, when that bump comes in the night, you expect me to get up, not your manly ass to go up on the door. That's what you guys have to understand in a relationship. It's not about financial when it comes to that point. It's about the relationship. There is a man, a groom, and a bride. There ain't no 2 grooms there. And women need to understand that. And if you think, I mean, personally, I'm not into she-males. Some men are. I get it. I'm not into it, but some men are. That's okay. You know, the whole thing. But, you know, she's going to know how to be a woman. She's going to cross her legs. She's going to do the whole womanly thing. She's going to walk next to me, not in front of me. I'm going to open the door for her. Yeah, she's going to know how to cook and clean. Yeah. Oh, yeah, she's going to be a woman. Now, what she does at Cedar Cyanide Hospital, I ain't saying nothing.
Go ahead, Dr.
I can't disagree with nothing that my brother has said. But I want to quote another genius, which was what Chris said. You shouldn't technically have to tell an adult something more than once. And what I do think is that when you're in a relationship and if you're handling business, like everything that Antoine said, I agree with it. I think in a healthy relationship, you don't never have to say that anyway. Because when she sees you taking care of everything, and if I'm gonna use Vic's word, let me just say it like, and she's raised a certain way or raised right, she's gonna fall in line with that. I think that whenever a man has to assert that like that, there's something he's not doing. Because because I think that we all have a responsibility. The first responsibility is take care of yourself. She'll submit to that if you're showing that you're taking care of yourself. If you can't take care of yourself, here's the thing. For me, you're a man biologically, right? But if you're not taking care of yourself, I can't call you a man. And if she's making 3 times more than you, she sets the rules because she's taking care of everything. If you want to set the rules, you better make sure that you're taking care of everything. And that's not really about money. It's about managing your life.
Yeah.
And now I'm actually going to say this, and I think this is something we should say about men. I love when you said provide and nurture. The truth is, you're supposed to do that for yourself, man or woman. You provide and nurture yourself. When you get in a relationship, you're hoping that someone else provides a little bit something extra so that you don't have to do it. So that's my only thing, there, is that I do believe providing for her means fulfilling all her desires and wishes, regardless of practicality and feasibility. No, I think that is false. But I think that if we're in a relationship and if I'm taking care of everything, I hopefully don't have to explain to you that I'm doing it. Just like if you're taking care of everything at home, then you shouldn't have to explain that either. So that's just the thing, because I don't actually believe in roles. I believe in communicated understanding and comprehension. But I also know as a man, there's certain things that I want, but I don't necessarily believe in roles, because here's the thing: if she's making more money than me, but I'm a better cleaner than her, why can't I clean the house and she pay the bills? But if I'm handling everything in the house, I'm taking care of the house, and if I'm taking care of the kids, right, then she realizes that the financial thing she's given is one aspect, right? And this is where, and see, now here's the thing, right? As I'm saying that, if someone's tripping about it, here's the question that I would ask. That's why I say I don't believe in roles. Then just flip it. And how would we feel now if the man's making the money and the woman's at home taking care of everything? Then we're going to be okay with it. So now flip it back. If she's providing everything and you're at home, if you're not taking care of her in these other ways and taking care of the house, then she should tell, and that's just my opinion, she should tell you what to do. Because because it ain't about biology now. It's about what's happening in the house.
In a relationship, there is a man and there is a woman.
I agree.
So there's no, just because she makes more than you doesn't take away your manhood.
I think you're gonna argue and agree with me at the same time. No, I'm with you. That's technically what I just said.
But see, here's the thing:
was if she's providing everything, and if you're taking care of things, you don't even have to have that discussion. That's so. I said,
we agree on that. Because a woman knows how to be a woman.
But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Providing for her means fulfilling all of her desires and wishes, regardless of practicality and feasibility. If she is giving that man everything that man needs, he is going to break his neck to do that anyway. That is the equivalent exchange that I have been talking about. And like I said, right, and you do not have to say anything. This is what I need from you. You give me this and I will give you this. And if I can't do it, I will find somebody to do it, and I will break my neck to make it happen. You cannot gain without sacrifice, and you have to sacrifice first, which means you got to give me what I want. So that way I got the fuel to go out there to come back with what you need.
That's why men have to lead by example and then teach by example.
That's why I said, if you're doing it, you don't got to communicate.
If you can show your consistency, you know what I'm saying, and show up and do what you're supposed to do, and if you vet it properly, and you got a mate that sees your effort and doesn't abuse your effort, or just abuse the provision, they're gonna do something to make your life a little bit more efficient if you're doing it for the right reasons.
There you go.
So that's just the bottom line, which is why, resources make the rules. But resources isn't always money. Resources is about strategy, really. You know what I'm saying? Because people submit to higher understanding. Higher understanding is what makes you change your decisions sometimes. Do you not change the decisions you make with more information?
Absolutely.
When you get more experience to go with the information, don't you make better decisions?
I think that's part of the process.
And all of that amounts to wisdom. And wisdom is knowing, when to speak up and when not to. Sometimes, like you said, it could be two quarterbacks, right? You don't have to make every play. You don't get rich on every play. You got to have a system of understanding between each other. People don't get paid on one play. They get paid off of a system. So if you want your relationship to work, you have to have a systematic understanding of what you're responsible for in order for the system of the relationship to work.
I like it. Gentlemen, chat, live, replay, everybody, I really appreciate it. We dug deep a little bit tonight. We went a little bit longer tonight. All of those good things. I appreciate everyone who is still here. Thank y'all for being here tonight. We went a little bit longer tonight, but I think it was okay. People still stayed in here and watched, so I guess that was a good thing. And y'all still stayed up here and didn't send me a private chat and saying you had to go. So, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all being in there, hanging in there, conversating for an extra 26 minutes, 24 minutes or so. So again, I appreciate it, and we will be back again next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Unkle Junior Network for another great episode of Elevated Dialogue. Gentlemen, chat, We out. See y'all next week.